Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week in GTA Online. This week, your podium vehicle is the Segoy and your prize start vehicle is the Xeon Classic. If you want to win the Xeon Classic, all you have to do is place top 5 for 3 days in a row in either pursuit or street races. So if that's something that you find worth it, I personally wouldn't think so, but that's entirely up to you. For bonus money this week, there's double cash and RP on open wheel races, as well as last play missions and overtime shootout. If you're not familiar with overtime shootout, it's one of the more fun game modes within the game. Definitely worth playing. It's kind of like playing darts but with Ruiner 2000s. It's not going to make you a heap of money, but it's worth checking out if you haven't done so for a little while. In terms of making money though, last play missions might be alright if you're a new player, and open wheel races are something to consider if you have your very own open wheel car that is fully upgraded. Outside of that, you're probably going to get your ass whooped multiple times if you don't have one, and overall they're not very interesting races in my opinion, but to each their own. And of course, if you don't like any of these 3 activities, you could always go back to your favorite heist, Cayo Perico. Jokes aside though, with the new DLC most likely coming within the next 2 weeks or so, you're definitely probably best off by trying to start making some money and saving it up as much as you can, because you don't want to be caught with your pants down and then start complaining about everything being too expensive. For discounts this week, there's 40% off arcades and casino penthouse renovations, 50% off casino heist utility vest and suit jackets, and for vehicles there's 30% off the Emirates, Thrax, Kara 4x4, Hellion, Komoda, Nebula Turbo, Neo, Outlaw, Rebel GTS, and Vagrant. For this prime, it's the same as it has been in the past week, which is $100,000 or $125,000 for just simply logging into the game. If you're not familiar with Twitch Prime yet and you want to know more about it, check out the eye in the top right of your screen. And if you already have Twitch Prime and you're not using your Twitch Prime subscription on Twitch just yet, feel free to consider me in the link in the description down below. And if you want my advice on discounts this week, personally I'd say if you don't own an arcade just yet, you never played a casino heist, definitely go out and grab yourself one and play something different than the exact same heist over and over and over again. Obviously you're going to need a friend in order to be able to do the casino heist, but it's definitely the best heist in my opinion out there, so definitely worth the play. In terms of vehicles, there is definitely a lot of good stuff in there, but I have to give you a big warning. It is more than likely that within the next week or two, we will be seeing a new GTA Online DLC, which might mean that the vehicles I'm about to name will potentially no longer be fastest in the class. Having said this, I'm still going to mention the Warfall pickups under the pretense that these are worth millions of dollars and you might need that money for the next DLC, so make sure that if you're buying this, you have enough money in the bank already. First up, the Emirates. It is one of the 2 best supercars within the game, but it's also the one that is a little bit more difficult to drive and definitely requires a bit of practice to get good with. The Krieger is the easier car to drive, but the Emirates can be incredibly fast, especially in those fast corners. Definitely not a car to underestimate in those. Another car that is definitely not to be underestimated is the Thrax. If you ever enjoy driving a Nero Custom, then this car is basically its big brother, which is even better. Definitely worth picking up if you're looking for something that's effectively just silk driving on the road. Some other picks that I would like to recommend is the Komoda. It's not one of the faster sports cars within the game, but it's quite fun to drive. Nebula Turbo is quite cool too. Again, not super competitive. Neo, same thing, quite fun to drive, not super competitive. The Rebel GTS though is one of the top SUVs within the game, so definitely worth picking up as well. And the Vagrant is one of the best off-road vehicles within the game, so if you don't own that one, maybe worth picking up too. A lot of good stuff in here. Again, I want to stress the DLC is close, so don't start throwing away all your money and then start regretting that within 2 weeks or so. Dream race this week is Downtown Underground, Lock the Supers. The car to use here is the Emirates or the Krieger if you're on old gen, and if you're on the new gen consoles, then make sure to use the weaponized Ignis for your best chance of winning. Time trial this week is Galileo Park, and the RC time trial is Cypress Flats. For both of them, $100,000 up for grabs for simply completing them. And the HSW time trial for those on the next gen consoles, that being PS5 and Xbox Series X, is going to be East Vinewood. $250,000 for that if you manage to beat it. If you need some help with it, there's an eye in the top right of your screen for all the HSW time trials. Very easy money. But with all that said and all that done, that was it for this one. And thank you so very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed or found it useful. Subscribe for more. And if you really like what you see on the channel, make sure to become a member like Chloe and Robert. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.